Hey TikTok, my friend Eddie asked me to do a video on how to level a bed on a 3D printer, so hopefully this helps him and helps anyone else out there who's having trouble with this. Let's go. Before leveling, we want to set the temperature of the bed and nozzle to the print temp. In this case, I'm setting the nozzle to 200 degrees Celsius and the bed to 60 degrees Celsius. Objects expand as things heat up, so you always want to make sure it's up to temp first. Once it's up to temp, we can start leveling. On my printer, it auto homes first. I have a BL Touch, but you don't need this to level your bed. What you do need is a trusty sheet of paper. I use this Post-it note. We start off by leveling each corner one by one. I always start with the bottom left corner first. Slide the Post-it under the nozzle. The goal is to be able to slide the Post-it back and forth with a little bit of resistance. In this case, it was a little bit too tight, so I used the knob on the bottom and turned it to the right to make it a little bit looser. This was perfect. Then I went to the next corner and I did the same thing. Again, it was a little bit too tight, so I used the knob to slightly lower the bed to make it just right. You want to feel a slight scratch as you pull that Post-it back and forth. Now to the back corner. In this case, it was a little too loose, so I adjusted the bed higher, turning the knob to the left until I could feel that scratch. Finally, we do the same with the back left corner, adjusting until we get that nice scratch when we're pulling the Post-it back and forth. Now that we've gone around once, we do this again because as you adjust each corner, it actually changes the other corners. So you want to go back around and check each corner again and make any slight adjustments as needed. You may have to do several rounds of this, but the adjustments should get smaller and smaller each time. Once all the corners are leveled, you want to check the Z offset in the middle. Once that's set, you're on to the next step, which is starting your print, of course. But once you start your print, you can still fine-tune your Z offset. You basically want to make sure that as the filament is coming out, the nozzle is close enough to the bed that it can push the filament against the bed and get a good adhesion. If the nozzle is too high and the filament isn't sticking to the bed, then you can adjust the Z offset lower so your nozzle is closer to the bed and it's really pushing that filament against the bed. Now you don't want the nozzle too close because if it's too close, then the filament can't extrude properly and that can lead to clogs. You're looking for the sweet spot to where the filament can extrude properly, but the nozzle is still pushing that filament against the bed. And that's all there is to it. I really hope this helped, and if you have any other questions, please leave them below in the comments. Thanks, y'all.